Chukudi, what exactly is your work? 2 years, you have sold phone, you have sold car, you have sold shoes, and now you are selling furniture. What exactly is your work? Now, are you like Chukudi, that you have been selling different kind of things? I understand. I'm sure it's because you are trying to make ends meet. Country hard. That is one of the reasons why in the next 100 days, I'm going to be showing you a better way of doing this thing. How you can find purpose, how you can stay and focus on a business and build it and become a huge name. I'm going to be teaching you how to build a successful business. And even if you decide that you want to go online and you want to diversify, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to do it. And also I'm going to be fixing that mindset of yours that has been taking you pure. Join me on this 100-day journey. It's absolutely free. Titled Mind and Money. I am going to be teaching you skills that will help you transform not just your mind but also your pocket. Click on the link below to get registered. See you there. You know say too much garri dey cause alcohol. And you know say this your garri wey you dey take na because of Satan. Now, let me show you how you can increase your income. Let me show you ways like stop drinking garri every single day. There are other types of food. There's rice, there's beans, there's chicken, there's so many other things. But you cannot afford those things if you rely on only one source of income, which is your salary. In the next 100 days, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can make money both from cryptocurrency, forex, and from owning a business. And that is not just all. I'll be adding a bonus on teaching you life skills, how to get out of depression, how to handle breakup, and how to live a best life. If you are interested in turning finance around, click on the link below and join me on this transformative journey. It is absolutely free. Stop drinking garri every time. Because I said it's free doesn't mean that the link is going to remain open forever. Get on board. I'll see you then. All right, welcome guys. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome. I'm sure we are happy and excited to be here. It's going to be an amazing session, right? I can promise you it's going to be really, really amazing. Welcome to day 17, guys. Day 17. I mean, it's been an awesome journey. I believe we all gained so much value from our guest yesterday, Mr. Mike Onundi, where we looked at loans, right? Welcome everybody once again. Now, today we are going to be looking at crypto diaries, right? We are going to be looking at crypto diaries, and the topic for today is real estate, gold, or Bitcoin. Real estate, gold, or Bitcoin. It's going to be really amazing. I'm sure there's been this question. This question as to which is the best investment platform. Which one should I do? I mean, the people have made so much money. People are making so much money from Bitcoin. People are making so much money from this thing, you know. A lot. I mean, it's really amazing, right? It's really amazing. So today we are going to be looking at this. I hope you are ready with your pen and your paper, right? So if you're ready with your pen and your paper, come on, let's do this. But before we get started, let's go on a short break. You know say too much garri dey cause alcohol. And you know say this your garri wey you dey take na because of Satan. Now, let me show you how you can increase your income. Let me show you ways like stop drinking garri every single day. There are other types of food. There's rice, there's beans, there's chicken, there's so many other things. But you cannot afford those things if you rely on only one source of income, which is your salary. In the next 100 days, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can make money both from cryptocurrency, forex, and from owning a business. And that is not just all. I'll be adding a bonus on teaching you life skills, how to get out of depression, how to handle breakup, and how to live a best life. If you are interested in turning finance around, click on the link below and join me on this transformative journey. It is absolutely free. Stop drinking garri every time. Because I said it's free doesn't mean that the link is going to remain open forever. Get on board. I'll see you then. All right, so welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. So today, let's just dive straight into business, right? I promise to be out of your face, sharp, sharp, right? I'm not going to take your time at all. Today, will be very strict with time. So, to the business of today, real estate, Bitcoin, or gold, right? Now, let's look at it. The first question is, what are these things? Now, one of the things they share in common is that these three items I've just mentioned are different asset class, right? They are different asset class. Investors put their money in this to, as a means of, making more profit, and instead of keeping your money sitting in the bank and the rest of them, right? So this is one of the reasons why people or investors decide to put their money in Bitcoin, gold, and real estate, right? So remember I said that this is going to be a comparative analysis. That means we are going to be comparing each of these assets. We are going to be comparing gold, we are going to be comparing real estate, we are going to be comparing Bitcoin, right? It's amazing. The first of all, what is where should I start from? Okay, let me start from Bitcoin, right? Let me start from Bitcoin as an asset, right? So starting from Bitcoin as an asset, Bitcoin is majorly seen as a speculative investment and a store of value, right? It's seen as a speculative investment and a store of value. But first thing, I want you to understand that Bitcoin is a medium of exchange. First of all, that means we can use it to trade. Remember, Bitcoin serves two purposes. First, a medium of exchange. That means I can use it as money. If you remember our last video, we talked about Bitcoin as money. Now, today we are looking at Bitcoin as an investment. And an investment means we are looking at Bitcoin as a store of value, meaning that I carried my money, I bought Bitcoin with the intention or with the hope that Bitcoin is going to increase in price. That is what we mean by speculative investment, right? So when we look at Bitcoin as a speculative investment, that means we are now considering it as an asset, a speculative investment and a store of value. It offers a potential high return, but also it carries high risk. And the reason is because of its speculative nature and volatility. Now, one of the things that make Bitcoin very, very powerful is the supply, limited supply, and the decentralized nature, and so many other things, right? Now, we looked at some of the properties and characteristics of Bitcoin, right? Now, a few of them is Bitcoin is limited in supply, it's decentralized, and it's very volatile, and it's purely digital, right? Okay, so that's for Bitcoin. Now, let's look at gold. Now, gold on its own has been a store of value and a safe haven since time immemorial. From the Bible days, we've seen gold used as a store of value. We've seen gold used as a medium of exchange, right? We've seen gold used as a medium of exchange. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, sorry about that. So we have seen gold used as a medium of exchange and as a store of value over time, right? Now, it is also used to hedge against inflation, currency devaluation, and the rest of them. And as a matter of fact, when we started talking about money, when we looked at Bitcoin as an asset, as a type of money, remember we came from trade by barter, then we entered commodity money, then we entered metallic money, and we found out that metallic money, which was gold, was one of the reasons why paper money had so much value, right? Paper money had so much value. Excuse me, give me a minute, please. Give me a minute, please. All right. Sorry about that. My throat is really clogged today. All right. So back to what we were talking about, right? Okay. So when we talked about that, we said paper money was so valuable as long as it was attached to gold, which is what was called the gold standard, right? Paper money was very valuable as long as it was attached to gold. Now, but immediately the president of the United States in some 19 something severed the tie between in the Bretton Woods agreement, President Dixon, when he severed the relationship between gold and paper money became trash, like trash. Now, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people still resort to things like gold, physical gold, as a store of value. Now, that is for gold, right? So we talked extensively about that when we are looking at gold as a medium, as a store of value, right? Now, but gold also offers portfolio diversification benefits, right? You can use it as a tangible asset. Some of the characteristics of gold is that you can actually hold physical gold, right? Like people that have gold necklaces, gold earrings, and the rest of them. Those are gold. You can have it in physical form, in form of products, wristwatches, earring, bangles, and the rest of them. And they still carry the same value, right? It is also a historical store of value. The purchasing power over time has not diminished. We are going to look at that. We are going to look at that. It's as if it's fairly stable. We'll look at that. Now, also, gold's low correlation. It has very low correlation. That means whatever with traditional financial assets, that means whatever is happening to your other financial assets, stocks, and the rest of them, there's low correlation. So your financial assets can be dropping and falling, and gold is still doing what it's doing. As a matter of fact, the correlation is low, meaning when you have sometimes some of all these stocks falling, gold's value keeps rising, right? And a lot of people use it as a hedge to inflation. We are going to look at this in numbers. We are going to look at this in numbers. This is very powerful, right? Now, the next thing we are looking at is a third one we are looking at is real estate. Now, real estate over the years is considered to be one of the most tangible and income generating assets with potential for long-term appreciation. A lot of men have been made using real estate. As a matter of fact, it offers investors opportunities not just in buying the assets, but also in earning rental income from rents, people paying rent, plus the value of the property appreciating, and the rest of them, right? So real estate investments provide some form of stability. It provides some form of tax advantages, portfolio inflation protection, and the rest of them. And it makes it very attractive for wealth preservation and long-term wealth accumulation, right? Okay, so what are some of the characteristics? One, it is tangible. Tangible, you can see it, you can feel it. This is the land. I mean, this is the land that we are talking about. So we are not talking about a property that doesn't exist. This is the land we are talking about, and this is it, right? So it is tangible. That's one of the properties. Number two, it generates income through rental services majorly, right? Through rents. If you have people renting, rental income, so that can provide a steady form of cash flow, right? Then also appreciation potential. Real estate tends to appreciate over time. And one of the reasons that causes this is population growth, urbanization, economic development, supply and demand, and the rest of them. Then also some tax advantages, right, is there, mortgages and the rest of them. So this is powerful, right? Now, let us now consider, we have looked at these three individual assets. We are now going to consider these in terms of, I'm trying to reduce how many, we are going to look at 5 comparisons, right? This is a comparative analysis. So we are going to look at 5 comparisons between all of them, right? Then when we are done, we are now going to do a 10 years, not 10 years now, a 10 to 12 years analysis, price analysis, right? So the first thing we are going to look at is utility. Utility. What's the utility between gold, Bitcoin, and real estate, right? We are going to look at the utility. Now, when looking at utility, excuse me. First, Bitcoin over the years, in fact, till tomorrow, is used majorly for what exactly? For buying. You can use it to buy, you can use it to sell. You can use Bitcoin to buy and sell assets. You can use Bitcoin to buy and sell items. As a matter of fact, there are over 300 and something thousand websites presently that accept Bitcoin. Over 300 and something thousand websites accept Bitcoin. So as utility, Bitcoin is top notch. However, it is limited in its utility. Why? Because it is majorly digital. But with the acceptance of Bitcoin, especially with the just released Bitcoin ETF, this has given Bitcoin so much room and has made it very, 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 acceptable. However, its use is still very limited compared to gold. Now, historically, gold has so many applications. Gold has been used as a currency. It is used also for luxury. It is used for luxury. A lot of people put on, how some happening women and men is that, they put on gold necklaces, you'll see gold rings everywhere. These are the big boys, these are the big girls. That's also a utility for gold, right? It's also a luxury item. You go into there was a time I saw a Rolls Royce that was gold plated, right? So that's luxury. So these are some of the utilities Bitcoin can't have. And it also has some special application in some other fields like dentistry, electronics, and the rest of them. So gold has a very large cross-functional utility. And this is one of the reasons why it maintains its value when even other assets fall. Then let's look at real estate. Real estate, of course, you don't need anybody to tell you it's the utility is just crazy. You can keep it just as land, use it for farming purposes, it increases the value. That means you're using that same land to make money by planting. You can use that same land, use it to build rental apartments, and you're making money from rent. You can use the same land to build hotels, right? So real estate also has that much utility, right? So if you compare Bitcoin, gold, and real estate, Bitcoin is lacking when it comes to utility, right? So that is for utility. Number two, we are going to look at is regulations. Regulations. Now, what are the regulations that so many countries are still in limbo? So many countries still don't have an idea of what regulations they should put, in Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, Nigeria as a whole is still very confused. That's the truth. Nigeria is still very confused as to what crypto is. Is it legal? Is it illegal? And the rest of them. The CBN today said, okay, yes, cryptocurrency is okay for this thing for individuals to use it. Before then, they refused. SEC said, okay, it was okay. The digital asset management system in Nigeria went on and released a blockchain policy. But still today, you still find out that places like CAC are giving you problem as an individual registering a company because there is cryptocurrency in the narrative. And I'm asking, all these things, why do we have all this confusion? So this is one of the problems with cryptocurrency, Bitcoin as it were, because there is still so many things a lot of people don't know about it, especially in this part of the world, right? So regulations are not still have not been fully embraced. right? And even when they are released, it takes a lot of time for people that are involved to understand what it's about. Imagine trying to register a company, and because in your memorandum of association there's the word cryptocurrency, then you may have to keep going back and forth with the um, registration committee or whatever, the guys that are in charge of that, and which is very, very bad for business, right? So regulations have still not fully been implemented when it comes to this part of the world. However, in some other parts of the world, we just saw recently that the Bitcoin ETF was approved. Bitcoin ETF was approved. So what does that actually mean? The Bitcoin ETF, what does ETF actually mean? It simply means exchange traded fund. Exchange traded fund. And so when we are saying that a Bitcoin ETF has been approved, it means that an exchange traded fund is actually a basket of securities, that tracks or seeks to outperform an index. Now, what does that mean? A basket of securities that tracks or seeks to outperform an underlying index. Now, what this means in simple English is that when we say Bitcoin ETF, we are talking about, that means we can now officially trade Bitcoin and other underlying assets. How? Now, normally, if I want to invest in crypto, I can buy different assets and I hold those assets. But right now, an investor can just put his money with the banks or in an ETF. Now, an ETF now, the ETF managers, which is the fund managers, can now decide to put this money in various cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and some other this thing. And as the profit is being made, they are making money too. They don't even need to know anything about it. So this is a regulation that would help Bitcoin as it were. This is just a surface definition, right? Now, for gold, of course, there's never been a restriction. There's never been, apart from the fact that so many countries take it that gold is a national asset. But there's never been a restriction. So mining in some certain areas, of some certain things, it should be done by the government, right? So there are just few regulations. And that's one of the reasons why in a country like Nigeria, there is still the rumor that one of the causes of the high insecurity in the Northeast is as a result of the illegal mining going on. So all these regulations makes it very difficult, right? But there are regulations. Now for real estate, of course, real estate still has their own drama when it comes to regulations. And if we take Lagos as a case study, where we have the Omonile and the rest of them, where you can buy land like 3 or 4 times, and if you go to court, nobody will send you. So when it comes to regulations, I think all of these are still, I don't know whether the problem is with Nigeria, but globally, there are regulations that regulate all of these assets, and they run very smoothly. So on regulations, almost all these assets are at par, right? So the next thing we are now going to look at is security and storage. Security and storage. Security and storage. Now, still talking on regulations, some governments have imposed bans on cryptocurrency, right? Some governments have imposed bans on cryptocurrency, right? While some other, when it comes to gold, there are some import and export restrictions. There are some import and export restrictions on those assets, right? And for real estate, of course, it's usually taxation policies, building laws, and the rest of them. You cannot build maybe 2 stories or 3 stories in certain areas. In certain areas, you cannot build beyond 25 stories. Certain areas, you can build beyond 24 stories, 15 stories, and the rest of them. So these are usually the regulatory environment surrounding this. Okay, so back to storage and security. Bitcoin storage and security requires robust cybersecurity measures. Now, also, you are fully in charge of your cryptocurrency wallets, right? Especially when you use a digital wallet where you possess the private keys. So, but the problem with this is that you could lose your private keys. And recently, if you connect your wallet to a fraudulent website, remember we talked about this. If you connect your wallet to a fraudulent website, there's a chance of giving hackers access to it, right? So what that simply means is for you to have a secured and a properly secured cryptocurrency of assets in cryptocurrency or in Bitcoin as it were, you would have to be fully responsible. You have to be fully responsible for it, right? So you must get the right devices. You must store it properly. You must ensure you have a proper backup of your wallet. If you have all of these and you are very protective, Bitcoin storage is one of the best when it comes to this. Because with a recovery phrase is a 12-word phrase. And once you can memorize this 12-word phrase, you become a moving bank. That means you can have almost $1 billion and you just have it in your Bitcoin wallet. You memorize your wallet phrase, 12 words, and you're moving about. Or you can even carry a small book that you just scatter the words around it. And with that small book, you can travel to any part of the world. You are safe, your finance is safe, your fund is safe. So the security and the storage, when it comes to that, it is 100% safe, but you are 100% reliable and fully the person to blame for if anything should go wrong, right? But for real estate, I mean, once you acquire it, it's a physical storage, it requires physical storage, of course. You need to see the property and the rest of them. But there are still some other things that you need, insurance, maintenance, and the rest of them. You must also safeguard your properties. This is one of the problems with real estate. Just recently, somebody was sharing a story of how their land they left for almost 12 years was sold, right? So all those things, storage, somebody can sell your land, and especially if you buy land in all these hinterlands and the rest of them. There's also the problem when we are talking of security. There's also the issue of vandalism, damage, natural disaster. Flood will just come. A comedian was cracking joke the other day that landlord gave tenant 1 week to pack out, and before 1 week, rain came, flood carry everybody, and the landlord cannot swim. There's only tenant that can swim. So you see all those things, natural disasters happen, right? So these are some of the issues with real estate. As a matter of fact, I'm sure we would have seen some of the videos that are trending during rainy season about the very expensive Lekki, where once when the rain comes, all those flashy cars are floating. You need to buy swimming life jackets so you can enter your house and all of those. So these are some of the issues with real estate when it comes to security and storage. Now for gold, of course, what you need is a secure vault, safe deposit boxes, and the rest of them. So, but they incur storage fees, insurance, and all of that. That's if you are holding a very tangible volume of that, right? So we've looked at utility, we've looked at regulations, we have looked at security. The next thing we are going to look at is volatility. Now, this is we are actually entering the innermost, the Santum Santoria. Volatility. Bitcoin is highly volatile. Right? We have seen. I've seen one of my clients those days that I used to. One of the guys that I do financial analysis for. I told him at a particular time, I said, okay, so we invested with $1 million and $1 million was about $6 million. And I told him, young man, sell and wait for me to give you the next instruction. And he was, no, that I've had some meeting with some guys at the Silicon Valley, Bitcoin is going to, I say, young man, sell. He said, no. And in one day, his portfolio reduced from 6 million to about 4 point something million. So 1 million 1 point something million disappeared from his wallet in value, right? You've not made loss until you sold, until you sell, right? So, but we are talking of the value. Now, that's how volatile Bitcoin is. It's that volatile. 1 minute you're at $1,000 and the next minute you're at $10,000. Bitcoin is volatile, very volatile, highly volatile. Real estate is volatile, but it's very low volatility. That means the price appreciates small, they go. Why gold is almost stable? Gold is fairly stable. Gold is fairly stable, right? So when it comes to volatility, that is that about that. Then next one is liquidity. Liquidity. Bitcoin is highly liquid. Highly liquid. If you have your 1 Bitcoin, your 2 Bitcoin, your 3 Bitcoin, they know they find who will buy Bitcoin. You can convert it to fiat immediately. You can use it almost immediately. And also, it's the same way if you want to buy, you would always see it's very liquid. Gold is also liquid. It's also liquid, right? Real estate is illiquid. Real estate is illiquid. That means if you want to sell your land, you will wait. So it's not like Bitcoin where, okay, so I want to sell Bitcoin. Say, okay, in a half hour, how much? You just do in 20, 30 minutes, transaction successful or transaction completed. Gold is illiquid. I say gold. Real estate is illiquid. That means you cannot easily convert it to cash. Right? Now, the final thing I'm going to do for you, and that's one of the reasons, that's why we are going to be using this board. I just hope you can see what I want to show you now. Right? So we are going to be using this board, and I'm going to be doing a very powerful analysis. We are going to be doing a price analysis of Bitcoin. We'll be doing a price analysis of Bitcoin within the past 10 years, since 2010. We'll be doing a price analysis of Bitcoin since 2010. We'll compare it to real estate, we'll compare it to gold. Follow me closely. This will blow your mind. All right, so let's get to the board.
You know say too much Gary dey cause alcohol. And you know say this your Gary wey you dey take na because of Satan. Now, let me show you how you can increase your income. Let me show you ways like stop drinking Gary every single day. There are other types of food. There's rice, there's beans, there's chicken, and there's so many other things. But you cannot afford those things if you rely on only one source of income, which is your salary. In the next 100 days, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can make money both from cryptocurrency, forex, and from owning a business. And that is not just all. I'll be adding a bonus on teaching you life skills, how to get out of depression, how to handle breakup, and how to live a best life. If you are interested in turning finance around, click on the link below. Join me on this transformative journey. It is absolutely free. Stop drinking Gary every time. Because I said it's free doesn't mean that the link is going to remain open forever. Get on the board. I'll see you then.
All right. Okay, so we are going to be having a very, very different. We're going to be having a very different session right now. Okay, so what we are going to be doing is let this slide be on. Now, we are going to be looking at price since 2010. Not this slide. This slide. Yeah, and this is my technical team. Okay, so we are going to be looking at price since 2010. Are you with me? Price since 2010. Now, in 2010, let's look at an investment of 10 million naira in 2010. An investment of 10 million naira. As at 2010, $1 was equivalent to 156 naira. $1 was equivalent to 156 naira. Please follow me, right? Because what I want to show you is very powerful. Now, imagine you had 3 people had 10 million naira each. A, B, and C had 10 million. Then the first person decides, okay, Bitcoin is going to be my asset choice. Second person decides gold is going to be my asset choice. And the last person decides, I want to invest in real estate. Okay, so now let's look at this. Bitcoin as at 2010 was $1. Gold as at 2010 was $1,400. Real estate, let's look at a plot of land in Ibejuleki as at 2010 was about 1 million. Was about 1 million naira. Should we convert that to dollars? Okay, let's convert that to dollars. 1 million divided by 156. Because we want to drop it. 1 million divided by 156. Stand there now, give me value. Okay, so while we are working on it, now fast forward to 2021. But as at this time, 10 million naira would give you $64,100. As at 2010, 10 million naira will give you what? $64,100. Now follow me. $64,100 would have given you how many Bitcoin here? 64,100 Bitcoin. As at 2010. Now, in gold, this would have given you, 4,000 would have given you about 45 ounces of gold. 45 ounces of gold. Then real estate, yes. What's the value? What is wrong with you now? Okay, so let's just leave it in naira since these people are trying to frustrate me. Okay, so real estate, Ibejuleki, a land in Ibejuleki is 1 million naira. A plot of land. That means your 10 plot of land, your 10 million would have given you how many plots? 10 plots. So now let's fast forward down to 2024. Today, 2024. One Bitcoin is valued at what? $50,000. As at today, one Bitcoin is $50,000. Gold presently is trading at what? $2,000. 2018 or thereabouts. Now, one plot of land in Ibejuleki as we speak is trading for 80-something million, if no more, 85 million or thereabouts. A plot of land. Now, what will be the value of your investment? If you look at this now, what will be the value of your investment? If you multiply $50,000 by 64,100, you should be playing at with about $3.2 billion. $3.2 billion. Then for gold, if you multiply 45 ounces of gold by $2,000, you should be playing with something like around $91,500. That's, I'm using the exact figure, $91,500. Now, if you play with this guy, 85 million from 1 million in 10 plots would be what? 850 million naira. Remember, we started with naira as our capital. We started our whole this thing with 10 million naira. Now, if you convert 3.2 billion to naira, you'll be at 4.8 trillion naira. 4.8 trillion. Now, gold will be giving you about what? 138 million naira. While real estate will be giving you about what? 850 million naira. Now you see, one of the things I want to show you is that exchange rates, why we had 138 million from gold is because we use the current exchange rate of 1,500. We use the current exchange rate of 1,500. So if you look at it, apart from inflation, this is, if you consider these three assets now, gold will serve as a full hedge. You can see it's fairly stable. It serves as a hedge to inflation. That's why it is fairly stable. So if you have the value of money you had, this is as at 2010, 10 million naira is equivalent to 138 million as at 2024, based on inflation. Based on inflation. Now we can see that gold is fairly stable. And of all the assets, gold maintained almost a fairly stable price, appreciated based on inflation. Now, real estate did extremely well, 850 million. But the question is, Ibejuleki is the most expensive area in Lagos. The most expensive. So that means you may go into this and not make this much. But one thing you can be certain is that you will make money with real estate. As a matter of fact, this is some amazing gains. The 10 million is giving you 850 million. Right? That's some 8,000% profit. This one is giving you some 10,000% profit or 1,000% profit. This 1,000% profit, some 8,000% profit. Then should we talk about Bitcoin, or I should allow you to do the math by yourself? Right? So this is 4.8 trillion. 4.8 trillion. Now, this is what I want you to understand. All of these investment assets are powerful. You can use any of them. You can invest with any of them. But what will determine which of them you decide to go into will be based on your risk appetite. How averse are you to risk? Bitcoin has one of the biggest gains in the past since 2010. Astronomical. The gain is, we are talking of in trillions. This one is not even up to $1 billion real estate. So this is how massive it is. But do not forget that Bitcoin has its volatility. Bitcoin has its volatility. And plus there are some areas that the regulations are not very friendly. And when I mean very friendly, you don't know if the government is for or against. The government is just sitting on the fence. 1 minute they are talking about they are for, the next minute they are saying they are against. And even till today in Nigeria, there's how you carry money, there's how you SARS will see Bitcoin on your phone, they'll still call you Yahoo boy. Right? So, but if your mind did, Bitcoin is it. Now, gold, of course, like I said, gold is a hedge. There's a level you get to that okay, what I just want now is a hedge. That means you are not trying to build wealth. People don't use gold to build wealth. That's why I say for you to invest, you must look at where you are as an investor. If you are trying to build wealth in this digital era, you are a digital somebody. Bitcoin is it. Now, also another thing you need to understand is you cannot go and buy land of 10K. You cannot go and buy land of 20K. But with crypto, you can buy coin of 20K, 10K, the entry level. Crypto gives you that easy entry level. Right? So when we look at all these things, You need to, for you to determine where exactly do I come in, you need to look at where are you financially, what is your financial target, and eventually, what do you intend to achieve, right? So that is where we are going to bring this video to a close, right? So I want to believe that we have gained some form of value. I want to believe we've gained some form of value. And if you have questions regarding this, please feel free to always reach out. Okay, some people were even giving me the value. God bless you. It's now I'm coming to see it. I wasn't by the system, so I couldn't see the value, right? So, but if you understand the analysis we've just done on the board, you would understand one of the reasons why I'm an advocate for cryptocurrency, why I'm always championing the whole idea of cryptocurrency, right? So, Bitcoin is very good, gold is very good, real estate is very good, but what should determine your exposure in any of these would most likely be where are you financially, right? What is your risk tolerance? What is your investment strategy? What is your capital, right? How much can you tolerate losing? I'll say this again. What should determine if you should invest or what, which of these three you should invest in is one, your risk tolerance. Your risk tolerance. How averse to risk are you? Number two, your investment strategy. Your investment strategy. Number three, how much capital do you intend to use? You cannot say you want to start real estate with 20K or 30K. Or they say, carry this your 50K, go and buy land inside bush that in the next 100 years. I advise yourself. But it's your investment strategy that will still guide you. Last. Are you getting me? So, how much capital do you have? It's very key. Very, very key. And how much can you tolerate losing? Why? Because Bitcoin is very volatile. And it's riskier. Right? However, we have seen that the potential rewards are very, very massive. Very, very massive. So thank you very much, guys. This is where I'll draw the curtain. I know I took your time today, but it's necessary. I really needed to do that work on the board. I want to believe you gain value. So tomorrow, I'll still be your speaker tomorrow, and we'll be talking about 5 books every Forex trader must read. 5 books every Forex trader must read. Is one you don't want to miss. As a matter of fact, whether you are a Forex trader or you are a crypto trader, there are so many similarities. So it is one that you really, if you are interested in, working on your finance, if you want your finance to change level, that is one place you need to start from. Remember, we talked about continuous learning as one of the tools for growth. Continuous learning is one of your required tools for growth, right? And we talked about that on Sunday. Okay, so somebody say, can you start Bitcoin investment with a low capital like 10 to 20K? You can even start with free. I'm sure you did. You've not been following our videos. Go and watch, I think it was day 10. Look for day 10 on our on our Facebook and YouTube page. Look for day 10. You will find out that you can even start for free, right? So, I mean, there's no hanky-panky here, right? Okay, so tomorrow, that's what we are going to be talking about. And until then, we are going to be looking at Forex Chronicles. Until then, please, like I said, if you want to enjoy this program and gain maximum value, please always start from the beginning. If you are joining us along the way, it's still fine, but do well to watch the videos, the previous videos before now, because we are building on it. Thank you very much, guys. Sorry for taking your time tonight. Till tomorrow, God bless you. I want to believe you gain value. Good night.